Cliffy Lyons, Steve Renoff, Larry Corowa and Eric Sims. The Indigenous round theme this year is moving forward together. And the NRL is calling on all rugby league fans to learn the land, learn the history and use your voice in doing so we can move forward together. The game is committed to moving forward and highlighting significant social issues affecting Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander people and wants to continue cementing their commitment to the Indigenous community and celebrate the unique relationship between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people and rugby league. And with that, I welcome you to the match of the round for the Central West Conference, round 4. And we're at Crestwood for a clash between Hills Bulls and the Parra City Titans. The junior districts, Parramatta and Canterbury Bankstown, two powerhouses combining at this age group. The live stream on YouTube and Facebook. Keep your eyes open, and there's sponsorship opportunities each week. And we'll update you with some scores from across the day. But before we get going here for the Hills Bulls, at fullback, Nathan Howlett. On the wings, Bailey Cornwell and Tomasi Ratu. The centres, Maximus Van Leeuwen and Aidan Crowley. The 6 is Riley McDowell. The half, Lachlan Gardner. In the front row, Vili Vermathahau. Declan Reedy is the hooker. Noah Gretsch, the other front rower. Connor Carnane, Riley Miller and Aidan Baker, the back row. And the bench, Casey Monk, Mitchell Edwards, Dallas Predel, Alec Burley, Lucas Hardy, Oliver Krecker, and Ekiafa Makakawafaki. And for the Parra City Titans at fullback, Luke Takchi, Antonius Habib and Antonio Kuzapoli, the wingers. Joseph Flaviano and Elias the centres. The halves are Charlie Romanos and Raymond McHale. The front row, Jaden Hasham and Jaden Siatia. The 9, Isaac Mogridge. The back row, Jez Layau, Stephen Nasseth and Ryan Barth. And their bench is Saman Makatarian, Gabriel Nakul, Isaiah Otutaha, Keldon Kazma, Aaron Hall and Via Filihia. And their coaches for the Bulls, Craig Carnane. And for the Parra City Titans, Joseph Romanos. And we get close to action here at Crestwood. Speaking to the coaches during the week, both pretty similar in what they were looking for in terms of Craig Carnane and the Hills Bulls. Two tight games to start off. Had a close loss to Wenty 6-4 in torrential conditions in round 1, and then a tough fought win over Chester Hill 16-14. This group has been together for a while now. The core of it had a little bit of turnover, and a lot of them go to Gilroy High. And looking at this, they've sort of developed over the years, spent some time together and built up and developed. As you know, these age groups, sort of 13s, 14s, 15s, that physical side of things, and he feels like they're starting to come into their own and have more confidence in what they're doing after those few years, and they're starting to close the gap and taking steps forward every game. For Joey and the Parra City Titans, he said that similar on his side of things, he took over last year, trying to get into the development side of things for these guys and building them up, and they're really starting to enjoy it. And they've had some hard games to start off with, but he's been happy. They've been tough and they've hung in, and it's just at the back end of the games, he says, if they clean things up, they're going to be right in there, and he thinks things will turn very soon. Those 1%ers, and they're working overtime on them, we'll start to see them get some results. Still a bit of a delay here, but we will be underway very, very soon. And speaking of what I said before, keep your eyes out for the live stream, YouTube and through Facebook on the Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League page. Sponsorship opportunities are available for the match of the round, and keep your eyes out also for the try of the week, Little League Legends, the highlights packages and Eels coaching reels. And we'll give you some other scores from the Central West Conference from round 4 between the Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League District and the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs Junior Rugby League. And these two clubs, quite storied. Parra City Titans, formerly Parramatta Marist Junior Rugby League. We all know Parramatta Marist has a very rich rugby league history. And the Hills Bulls are 50 plus years, established 1963 here. Ron Massey, Sydney Shield, and they also feed in New South Wales Cup to the Bears. And with that being said, we are underway. Parra City Titans to receive first. And a big carry up the middle and met strongly. And that's Jada Satia. And followed up by Hasham, Jaden Hasham. And a good 1-2 punch from the props. And Ryan Barth now gets over the top of the first defender. Nice play the ball. Back to Satia. He's turned around there and a bit of a wrestle ensues as he finds his front and almost to halfway now. Early kick coming from Raymond McHale. And centre field and taken by Howlett. Let's see what he can do with his first touch. And driven backwards there. Good contact first up for the Paracity Titans. Outside backs in to help. And Bath. Strong contact there on Bailey Cornwall. And Aiden Crowley follows him. And short ball there. Baker tipped that one on. And shift play now shows, and then a knock on, unfortunately, as Gardner offloaded that one. Left behind by Van Leeuwen. Had good field position here and good opportunity for the Paracity Titans right near halfway to head straight into good ball and see what they can do. Good first set prior to that one. The 1-2 punch and then followed up by their lock. Early kick from McHale. He's a product of Parramarist, as we mentioned before. Links between the Paracity Titans and Parramatta Marist, the school, and obviously the Junior Rugby League. And waiting for a feed now. And McHale drifts across field and picks up the centre. And Elias. He drives his way over halfway. Back in field now is Kuzapoli, and he's picked up and driven backwards. Good defence there by the Bulls. In now to Nassif. And he's put on his back strongly. And Hashem, oh, big contact between two front rows there, and an offload from Hashem. And followed up and skipping through is Mogridge. And he steals another 10 metres. Getting closer to getting inside the 20 here. And turned under by Romanos. But a bit hard and left behind by Liao. And a good opportunity field position-wise gone there for Paracity. And Hills now a scrum. 25 out from their own line. And some of these guys, Charlie Romanos, turned that ball under, playing up an age group. Good experience for him, another product of Parramarist. And we're back underway. And going wide, first off the scrum and getting some valuable metres. Oh yeah, bit of a miss on the pass, but cleaned up by the front rower, Noah Gretsch, and a penalty. Very handy. Very handy. And the referee gives the spot. And Hill's going to get a free march out of their end here and a good opportunity themselves to head straight into good ball. And nice touch finder there. Let's see what they can do with this ensuing possession. It's going to be Crowley who gets this one back in field. And he takes it himself. Good 15 metres there, and now back in field. And Baker plays distributor again. And Riley Miller comes back under. And Reedy long now. And long again, the halves link up. McDowell to Gardner, to the fullback Howlett, who throws a dummy. And he beats the first man, but not the second. As Reedy goes to Gardner down his short side. Goes long across the face to Rd4, who tries to get to the corner. And he ends up doing well, staying in field. And 5 out now, goes to Connor Carnane. Tries to use that big frame and roll his way in. And that's play 5 as he's held out. I'll look for Gardner here and try and get a result off the boot. And here he is. Crossfield for a contest. And taken easily by the Paracity Titans. And a quick tap is about to ensue, and plenty of open space midfield here. And a great shot from Carl Nain to slow things down off the Kuzapoli run. And now back midfield, Luke Takshi finds the ball and gets him up to halfway on play 2. And midfield now, Ryan Bath. And Reedy trying to get the ball out there. And wrestling his way forward is Jaden Hasham, and he gets another offload. It's picked up by Mogridge. He's struggling his way forward now to the 20. Tip to Bath, and he's got push with him, but he doesn't need it. He tucks it under the arm and drives his way inside the 10. A great chance here as Mogridge looks for Romanos, then comes back to McHale. Shows short twice, goes back on the inside off his left, beats a couple. He's awfully close, and on play 5. Mogridge shows it, goes and finds himself under the sticks for the first 4-pointer for this match of the round in round 4. And Mogridge there, after the halfback is caught with the football, sells a nice dummy and burrows right under the black dot there. And it's 4-0 to the Para City Titans with 23 left in the first half. And, after a very, very good set start there by Kuzapoli, who takes the quick tap and goes flying down Main Street back to the 40. Couple of good runs, Bath, Hasham with an offload. And then after Raymond McHale almost found his way in off his left foot, the 9, Mogridge, dives under the posts. And Mogridge is a Blacktown Pats product, and he's also played for the Malta under-16s. And an easy conversion first up. And dispatched right over the middle. It is Mogridge who converts his own try. So 6-0 to the Para City Titans. And a good start to this one here. Round 4, match of the round in the Central West Conference. Some big contact, some good attacking footy. And looks like we're in for another absolute belter of a game. And set after points, very important. See if Para City can get to a kick on this one and get back into the arm wrestle with the Hills Bulls. And talking of the Hills Bulls, Howlett only been playing league for a couple of years now, showing some great promise, and he gets us back underway. And Jaden Hasham straight over the top of the first man. And the old bumper bar, and now centre field. They work it, and it's a good start again for the Para City Titans to this set. And centre field, Antonio Kuzapoli, very busy in the early part of this game, coming in to help. And Bath off the back fence. And he's rolled around. And good set after points so far. Mogridge goes deep, and the early kick again. McHale from maybe just inside the 40. And it goes to Howlett. And he grabs 15 metres. And a good return. And underway now. The first up there, Crowley coming in to help out again. And Tomasi Ratu with a follow-up carry. And plenty there to meet him as they put him on his back. And pushing it there, and rightfully so. They find a penalty. And a little bit of argy-bargy, but the ref lets it go. And great opportunity off the back of what was a good set. Good field position, and they're straight back into the attacking half. Ratu will get us back underway here. Maximus Van Leeuwen tips on to Culnane. Another product of Gilroy. And bit of argy-bargy early in this one. And a tip on there. Noah Gretsch in a bit of a struggle, and he's eventually brought to ground. Baker playing that link role for the middle of the field. As Gardner short to Culnane, but keeps it for himself. But they're well onto him, and Bath and Satia drag him back midfield. And he's a bit shaken up after that one. And Baker again shows it this time. Goes himself. Standing with 3 on. And Reedy shows short side, comes open. Gretsch tips on to Gardner, who goes long to Van Leeuwen. Uses some feet, gets back on the inside, cross 3 or 4. And it looks like he's got that one to ground. And an instant response from the Bulls. Some good football there. Long by Gardner. And Maximus Van Leeuwen with a lethal left foot, skips back across a couple. Finds the defenders holding back on the inside and gets himself over just to the left of the uprights to make it 6-4. With 18 to go in the first half, and I'm sure after this conversion, we will be locked up. And Van Leeuwen is another one who's converted from rugby union, and he's making a real fist of it. He's played state, 15 for union and 7s, and he's a product of Oak Hill. Gardner with that pass, as we said before, the half. Played a lot of touch and tag, and you can see that in the passing game so far. He's also been part of the Eels system and development. And Aidan Baker, the man taking this kick now, part of Eels setup as well in the development for the 15s. And another Gilroy product, the core of this side, mostly Gilroy players. And he makes no mistake with that one. As we go to 6-all here with 17 remaining in the first half. Hills Bulls and Para City Titans giving us a cracker so far. And plenty of feeling. Good signs to come. Nothing better than the big boys getting stuck into each other. Very entertaining. And set after points. Let's see if they can handle things a little bit better than what ensued for Para City. They had a very good set, but the penalty unfortunately turned it round. Hills here. We'll see what their response is. And McHale will be the one to get us back underway for Para City. And again, what we said, Para City formed in 2008 off the back of Parramatta Junior Rugby League Football Club and those links to Parramatta Marist, the school who were very big in rugby league over 100 years. Lots of players out of there. And the kick-off. And here comes big Noah Gretsch with another good carry. And he left one behind. And almost back to the 30 in a good set start as Tomasi Ratu looks for another carry and busy so far from his wing, helping out. And Baker again uses the ball. And we've unfortunately got a lost ball there. Willie Vermathahau has unfortunately dropped that one. Another one who's come from rugby union. Just unfortunately a bit of a bobble, and both teams set after points has landed in good field position for one another. Both coaches are obviously hoping that that is not the case to follow for the rest of the game. But Para City Titans now with a great opportunity inside the attacking half on the 40 centre field off this scrum. They come to Romanos, who turns it under. And Jez Leao this time gets it and tipped off an offload. And it goes to Romanos and back to Flaviano. And Joseph Flaviano there, part of the Eels development system as well. Midfield now, Jez Leao cuts back off the left foot and drives into the line. With a good carry and a quick play the ball. And Jada Satia, tip on to Bath. And he turns and keeps pushing forward. Midfield now, 10 out. Mogridge picks it up from dummy half, goes long to McHale. McHale out the back and tipped on there. It's a great tackle to deny Elias. And from the corner, it's happened again. Another dummy from dummy half. And unfortunately for the Hills Bulls, looks like Antonio Cosapoli, who comes up with a very well-deserved 4-pointer for the work that he's put in so far. Great play off the tap. Couple of really good carries in yardage, and again, the dummy half dummy and able to burrow over the line. The sticks first for Mogridge, and now the corner, but nevertheless the same result unfortunately for the Bulls, and it is now 10-6. 14 left in the first half. Parra City Titans take the lead. And Kuzapoli, he's a product St. Paul Greystanes, and certainly trying to make an impression here on the match of the round. And good carries in the lead up to that. Jez Layau on the right hand side there, and Bath, who we know has been awfully busy so far through the middle of the field, linking up there with Jada Siatia. Bath, as I said, he's one of these guys as well, part of the development system, the 16s for the Eels. A lot of these guys go to St. Paul's Greystanes. Couple from Parramatta, as we said, the links with the club and the school. And Fairfield Pats, Blacktown Pats. And tough assignment, and unfortunately no result, but 10-6, the Parra City Titans leading the Hills Bulls so far, match of the round. And in their new iteration for Parramatta City Titans, some or current NRL players, should I say, include Alex Twile from the Tigers and Tyrell Fuimaano, and I've been told they stay in close contact with the club. And they're growing every day. They've got multiple players in Matt's ball, flag, cup systems, and they're developing, and their motto is the family club. They want everyone to feel welcome and want a great environment and culture for all. As Hills get us back underway. And Jaden Hashim again with the forward lean and the leg drive. Certainly not afraid of the contact. And the Fairfield Pats product driving through the legs. And it's a solid follow-up there. It's a bit of a slow play the ball, but nevertheless, and back underway now. That was Kuzapoli. And a wrestle again with Bath. He's been a handful through the middle. Mogridge to Hashim, who doubles up in this set and gets him just over halfway before being brought to ground. Midfield now, McHale pressured but gets it off. And it's cleaned up by Howlett. Claps on the speed and digs back into the line. And they've got a penalty there. A little bit high for the ref's liking. And an opportunity again to march straight out of their end of the field for the Hills Bulls. And Howlett, good touch finder. And into the attacking half straight away with a great opportunity. Let's see what they can do with this one. And Crowley tucks it again and decides he's going to take the metres. And an easy 15 before he's flipped over. In centre field, Riley Miller tries to square it up and he's driven backwards. Big contact. Now at the back there, McDowell, Gardner to Van Leeuwen, a little bit behind him. He comes back in field, that left foot again. And Reedy to Baker, who shows the footy again, and burrows through the line, almost pokes his nose through. And now Willie Vamatha with a strong carry. And he's got an offload out the back to Howlett, who picks that one up and goes for the line. The Parra City Titans alert to that, and they need to be. And play 5 right in front of the posts. Going left now to Gardner. Goes long again out to Tomasi Ratu. And he goes into the corner. Some good football there from the Bulls. The offload from Willie Vamatha leads to Howlett almost going through. And then the ensuing play the ball, they run it play 5. Gardner sums it up nicely with a long pass to Tomasi Ratu, who goes over in the corner. And a good reward for some of his hard work in yardage early in this one. And that brings us to 10-all with a kick to come. 9 minutes to go in the first half of what is a back and forth fight here. Match of the round, Central West Conference, round 4. And you can see why Parramatta like Nathan Howlett. Part of the development setup as well after only a few years playing rugby league. He's another one from Gilroy. And Gardner, like I said before as well. High levels of touch, OzTag, and also part of that development system. Some good touches for him so far and some nice passes. And Rd4 ices that one. Also liking the work of Baker, Aiden Baker so far. Much like a lot of teams now in grade, they want their 13 to sort of be a bit of a link man and offer the ball as tip-ons through the middle. He's certainly doing that for the Bulls so far. And that one from the sideline is good. Very good. Started to fade a little bit to the right, and Aiden Baker, not only can he run and pass, he's also a goal kicker. Call him Billy Magoulias with the way things are going. The 13 with the chip and chase of the New South Wales Cup. He's got a half trapped in his body. And that one gives the lead, 12-10 to Hills Bulls here at Crestwood at home. Good crowd in for the action tonight for the match of the round. And you can join us every week through the Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League Facebook page and on YouTube for the live stream. There's opportunities to promote your business on future match of the rounds. 12-10 in the seesawing affair. Two teams very, very keen to make an impression, and they certainly have done that so far. And Para City to get us back underway. Driving to the corner, and Van Leeuwen comes back strongly, and then spun around by Jez Lau. And Howlett getting his hands dirty. Always happy with your outside backs coming in to help as Rd4 does the same. And he got his reward before for some of that hard work with that 4-pointer. And Noah Gretsch, good forward lean and finds his front. And Gardner's caught it down the short side, short to Culnane. And off the left, looks to offload but puts it away. And play 5 now on the front foot. Gardner swaps back down this short side on a left foot bomb. And it's a good clean-up job under pressure there by Antonius Habib. And now Luke Tachi trying to help out. And centre field off the left foot. Ooh, good carry and folded back over awkwardly there. There's Antonio Cusapoli, who's been busy. And Gabriel Nakul now on. One of the first interchanges we've seen as Mogridge goes to Bath. And he's been very busy as he fights his way forward. Bit of a reminder almost of a Mitch Barnett with the way he's carrying that football. And on the last, McHale throws a dummy, pokes his nose through, looking for some help. Gets an offload, and it's kicked backwards. It's play on, and they jump down now. And that's Ilias, and he's running and rolls it through. And it's eventually cleaned up very nicely there, and counter-attack by the Hills Bulls. And eventually cleaned up. Exciting passage of play. And out of dummy half. Very nice football and a good response. And tipped on there. There's Cornwall with that good return. And Vamatha Howe with the ball. And Gardner shows, looks short, keeps it himself. Him and Carl Nain doing well. Trying to sell that short, long shape. There's Baker again down the short side to Carl Nain, who pokes his nose through. Offload to Van Leeuwen, who's off the left. But Paracity Titans do well. They get the numbers there to solve it. And on play 5, again, jumping down that short side is Gardner to Carl Nain, who's got the footy. And they've called that one forward. Love the risk on last play, trying to come up with something. It's good football. Just didn't pay off that time for the Bulls, but enterprising play with some good offloads. And Antonio Cuzapoli, awfully busy and very good so far with his yardage work. Another good carry. And followed up by Antonio Sabib. They try to drag him backwards. Mogridge out to McHale and turns Elias under. And on the halfway now, Bath with support from Nicole, but tucks it under the arm, and that one's come free, but he's called it a strip, the referee. And they're looking to get on with it quickly. Bath running to get the footy. And a fresh set of 6 in the attacking half. A good opportunity with only 3.5 minutes to go in the first half here. Bulls currently leading 12-10. And Gabriel Nicole driven backwards, but offload to McHale. And he picks up the meters again after the snakes and ladders going forwards and backwards. Mogridge to Romanos, who lays it off short to Leal. And unfortunately, he's left that one behind. And the pressure release there for Hills. And for them, a scrum to come. 30 out from their own line. And speaking of Hills, their philosophy as a club is just that. Club, team and player. They encourage all players and officials and supporters to have fun every week with their family and friends. Strong community base here, 650 plus players, mostly locals from the area, and juniors are the cornerstone of what they do. Involved in league, touch, OzTag and cheerleading as well. As I said before, Ron Massey, they were the premiers last year. They're in Sydney Shield and they feed up to the Bears also, North Sydney. And back underway. That's Crowley with the first carry and a good follow-up run there. And pushing through the middle. Crowley again with Howlett and the 1-2 punch to start the set off. Yields a lot of meters and they're rolling Hills. And on the back of it again, Crowley, Howlett, the whole set, very positive. And centre field, they go long to Gardner, shows inside and outside. And that left foot skips across the face and then is hit there by Elias. But quick play the ball and down the short side, Reedy fends off one. Has the arm free, but he's brought down. And a bit of argy-bargy, but a turnover. The referee is called. And a very good set and an opportunity to pin the Titans in their own half here, or try to force an error as we've only got a minute to go. And they look to play it safe as Antonio Cuzapoli again drives his way upfield. And followed in by Luke Takchi, who's got a good carry and leaves 2 or 3 behind and tries to break free. And a messy ruck and a penalty with 50 seconds remaining. Need to get on their bike here and get things moving. And the referee gives the mark. See what sort of urgency we can get as the clock ticks down in what will be the final attacking set of the half. Parramatta Titans not going for touch. They're going to take the tap. And Takshi again. Strong carry and just a strong defence. All 10 metres gained were taken away. And Mogridge is the Bath. Certainly not taking a backward step. And a good forward lean as he carries 3. And 10 seconds left. Can they come up with something from their own half? Gabriel Nicole off the left foot. And a penalty. They're going to have to go quickly. Last play of the half. And there's the buzzer. Almost on the halfway. They look to kick this one. Try and pick up some yards in one last play. But no, they've gone with the tap. And Raymond McHale thinks better of it. And they go to the half. 12-10. The Hills Bulls lead the Parramatta Titans in what has been a back and forth contest so far. An absolute belter. And if the second half is as good, we are in for an absolute treat as the referee has a talk to the captains. As we said, there's been no lack of feeling in this one. The big boys have been getting stuck into each other. The yardage men on the outside have certainly been ripping in as well. The halves have been good. All round, a great game of football. So make sure you come back in the second half and join us here for the Central West Conference match of the round. Hills Bulls 12 lead the Paris City Titans 10. And we are back for the second half. Match of the round, Central West Conference. Hills Bulls leading the Para City Titans 12-10. And if the second half is as good as the first, we're in for an absolute belter. And scoreboard update from the Central West Conference under 16s. Guildford earlier over Rouse Hill 26-22. Cabra also a close one, just over Chester Hill Hornets 2016. The Greenacre Tigers 26-6 over the Mounties. And as we know here, 12-10 currently with a half to go. And Wentworthville later at 6-10 to play St. Christopher's. So a game still to come. But a very close round. And Para City Titans very fired up, both teams at halftime as they broke from their huddles. When the unlucky recipient of that first carry and some very strong defence, Mitchell Edwards. And as anyone knows who's played in the middle, it's never fun to be the man who has to take the kickoff when everyone's fresh. And, oh, an awkward one there. Culnane chopped low. And hopefully he's okay. He's, after that one, face a bit high on the contact there. Hopefully he's fine. And Lucas Harding with the carry before that one. And the ref sees that as a penalty. And he's up and shaking that one off. He's been strong so far. Good combination with Lachlan Gardner there, always running that lead line for him. Couple of offloads. And a penalty gets him up near halfway as Ratu gives that back inside to Van Leeuwen, who decides to take the first carry himself and is wheelbarrowed backwards. And midfield now tipped on. It's Lucas Harding with another strong carry. And Reedy jumps to Baker. Caught up but beats those two and gets just past where the ball was played. And Baker and Bath going head to head. And Gardner again shows the ball. Keeps it. Slowish play the ball, but moving now. And McDowell turns it under for Harding. And an offload to Howlett, who goes screaming through the middle. And a great clean-up tackle there. And underway, Reedy now goes long. Gardner goes long again to Ratu and off the turf. Unfortunately, he's not able to handle that one. And a sigh of relief there. Good attacking football. An offload and the line break that ensues. Quick play the ball and shift it out there. Lucas Harding, instant impact, another one from Rugby Union. And Howlett around the football. And when Gardner looks to go long again, doesn't pay off this time, but looking dangerous on that left. And centre field now as they try to work it out, the Para City Titans. Eventually with a play of the ball and Bath rolling there. And before that, it was Casma, Calden Casma, who's fresh on the field as well. And long to McHale, who tips under there to Elias. And Casma to McHale. And Gabriel Nakul shows it but keeps it. He's been busy as well. And off the right boot of McHale, it's a good one. Clears the fullback and winger. And Ratu gets that right in the corner, down inside their 10. And gets it back more centrally there. As they try to ramp up now. And a good two pass to Crowley, Aiden Crowley. And a quick play of the ball. And they jump on the back of it, Howlett. And luckily, grabbed by the bootlaces. He's looked dangerous with every touch. And Baker tips on to Harding again. He's leaving nothing in the tank with these carries. And an early kick option from Gardner. And it takes a left-hand turn. and into touch. And a clearing set there for the Hills Bulls. Be an opportunity here for the Para City Titans in their 30. And again, the energy from both of these teams certainly taking it to one another. Very happy to be standing here commentating and not running into each other like some of the lads here. The contact outstanding, and we see it there again. It's dragged backwards. And dummy half there picks it up in Antonius Habib and looks left and right, but he's eventually trapped. And dummy half run again, just trying to get out of their own end. Quick play of the ball as it's picked up there. And Kazma goes long to Mikhail, to Elias. Elias tucks it away and met strongly there by Bailey Cornwall. Good contact. And Stephen Nassif, he's put on his back. Midfield now, Bath. Last tackle. Mikhail with a good late kick there. Almost caught with the ball, but gets that one down. And Howlett again. Great carry, bringing it all the way back to the 40. And a good start to the set as Cornwall comes in to help. And Crowley, another carry. Good offload there too. Gardner follows up. But they're there to meet him. They scramble and solve that one, Para City. And Gardner gets up a bit slow as Baker tips onto Harding again. And Lucas Harding keeps the legs pumping. And down the right here, it's Brettle onto Aiden Baker, who keeps it. And they've got a penalty. The Hills Bulls late in the tackle count. And a very good opportunity inside the 20. Dallas Brettle deciding what they're going to do with it here. And Crowley again. Been very busy, as have all the back five for the Hills Bulls. And an offload for Brettle. But the ref has called that was held. In centre field, Riley McDowell to Gardner. Carl Nain. Good line, but shut down. And Brettle looks open, looks to play to Harding, keeps it himself. And Baker, dummy half. And it certainly looks like it. It's happened again. 3 times in the one game. You wouldn't believe it. But the Hills Bulls jump over from dummy half. And that end of the field, it's just something about it today. The third try coming in that fashion, and it takes us to 16-10 to the Hills Bulls. Kick to come with 22 left in the second half. And taking that opportunity, burrowing over. And a good chance here to get some separation in terms of the scoreboard and make it a 2-score game. It's been very back and forth, as we know. But adding to the try scorers there, Aiden Baker, we know Van Leeuwen in the first half, and Tamasi Ratu. And on the Para City Titans side of things, Mogridge from dummy half early, and Nassif stole one from dummy half. So that theme has continued tonight. And score updates, like we said before, Rouse Hill Rhinos went down to Guildford 26-22. As Baker has had a shocker, unfortunately. To the left of the posts, can be a tough spot as a goal kicker, you don't envy him. And 16-10, the score remains. Cabra 2016 over the Chester Hill Hornets. Greenacre Tigers 26-6 over the Mounties. And we're 16-10 here with 21 minutes to go, and Wenty and St. Christopher's still to come in this round 4 of the Central West Conference. And we spoke before about some ex-NRL players. Hills Bulls have no shortage of those. Heath Lestrange, Blake Green played here. Hava Siamunal Fanai, Josh Curran, who's currently at the Warriors. Luke Keary spent some time here, Paulie, and everyone obviously remembers David the Wolfman Williams. And there's plenty more to that list. There's a couple like Ron Hilditch and John Kolk as well, who both played at the Eels and for Australia. And like we said before, Paracity Titans having that link with Marist since their new iteration. Tyrell Fuimano and Alex Twal, both currently in the NRL. And big Lucas Harding winds up again, and a good carry back to the 30. As we said before, he's not leaving anything in the tank. And it comes across now. And Riley McDowell turns it back under. And they get tied up there with Reedy and Crowley again. His name's on repeat. Almost every set he's making sure he gets a carry. And Brettle now across to Aiden Baker. Shows that ball again. And Lau in his face. Jez Lau. And Brettle jumps down the short side. And Gardner turns it under to Culnane. And that combination working overtime. Brettle long and centre field to Gardner. Tries to position that one to find some grass, and an awkward bounce. But Kozapoli's there again. And good field position. And at dummy half, Flaviano. Joseph Flaviano. He's part of the Eels development system as well. And Luke Tachi, Parramatta product, and also part of that development system. And out the back of that shape to Hashem. And he's popped a few offloads tonight, but controlled this time, but a good carry nonetheless. Casma to Bath, and the ball's come free. And Culnane picks it up. In good field position here for the Hills Bulls. And Lucas Harding again. And this time they do a good job in stopping him. And Declan Reedy moved out to almost a middle role now. Another one who's played rugby union. And a handy cricketer as well, apparently. And Baker, awfully busy as well, the lock. As Brettle picks it up with a man down. Gardner back inside to Howlett, try to find some space, but they're onto him and he gets an offload to Gardner. Comes off Culnane. But play on there to Van Leeuwen, who comes back in field, beats one, beats two. He's pushing with three. They bring him down, but a quick play the ball. And Brettle jumps in behind and trying to burrow through. And they get him, and the ball's free. And a knock on. And that left-hand edge. Van Leeuwen. He's been deadly when he heads back in field off that left foot. Culnane reliable all night for his half. In Gardner. And Howlett there through the middle. Trying to poke his nose through. And Brettle, he's been busy since moving into that 9 role. With Reedy now helping out the middles. And waiting on a restart here. We're a bit slow with a scrum, but eventually it's fed and play on. And Elias. Good carry and a quick play of the ball. And the ref says it's off the mark. Kilden Casmar. Back in field to Antonio Kozapoli's. He's very strong with his carries. I think he'd be into double digits now with his work. And followed up there. Trying to slide through the ruck. And tipped on to Jaden Hashem, who bumps the first. Has a couple hanging off him as he pushes forward. Off the back of the Flaviano carry, he does well. And Casmar goes early to McHale, who finds grass again. And Howlett's back there for it and gets an offload to Rd4, who comes centre field now. And the ball's come free. Bath has picked it up. And a really good opportunity here. With 15 left in the first half, the Parra City Titans get an error. And inside the 10, first play, centre field, they start things off with Jada Siatia. And he's put down. And Casma jumps out to the right, and it's turned under by Mogridge to Lau. And there's a penalty. And things have slowed down. And they're trying to decide what they want to do here. And they've gone the tap. And it's Lau again. Jez Lau. Quick play the ball and trying to push through there. And a dummy half try again. Not this time for Casma. And to Jaden Hashem on the short ball. They're trying to power their way through. And he's almost there. But plenty of bodies there from the Bulls. And they've held him up. They have to take it back now. Let's see what they can come up with. Opportunity to lock up the scores. And we've got a man down under the posts being attended to. So a stoppage for now. And we're at 16-10, the Bulls leading the Parramatta City Titans, but great opportunity for them here to try and lock things up. 10 out right in front of the posts with a couple of tackles left. Things are getting back underway now, and they look left and then they go right with Mogridge, who turns a man under, and then he's shut down. And Casma back into Bath, and Bath spins and tries to find his way to the goal line, but they scramble and stop it, and that's play 5 for the Parramatta City Titans. And long from Casma, goes to ground, and it's come off McHale. And he's unfortunately not able to handle the wobbly pass. And it's a knock-on after it bounces off Satia. And that opportunity, unfortunately, passes by. And a good opportunity, though, here for them to turn up the heat defensively and try and pin the Bulls down their own end. Both teams have been very good so far getting out of yardage. Let's see what happens here as Harding lines up again. Lucas Harding, and they meet him early this time. And Brettle to Ratu on a long pass. And he tries to push his way through and almost gets the arm free. And centre field now. It's tipped on for Mitchell Edwards. And Lockie shows a dummy and almost gets his way through. Jada Satia shuts it down, and Baker down the left-hand side goes long to Ratu, tries to skirt the outside of Tachi, and offload back inside to Van Leeuwen. And he bounces off a couple, but with that second contact, the ref deems it a penalty. And again, good at getting out of yardage, and a fresh set of tackles here in good field position. 30 metres out, with 12 to go, the Hills Bulls. Trying to get some breathing room as Culnane takes that first carry and bounces away. Another one who's part of Gilroy and the Eels development, and followed up by Baker. And big contact. And it goes to Gardner, who looks to play short to Lucas Harding. He surges through. And off a good carry, the play the ball comes. That long shape to try and isolate the edge defenders. And Lachlan Gardner digs into the line and plays short to Lucas Harding, who has made a huge impact off the bench for the Hills Bulls, and duly rewarded there as he bursts through and manages to get the arm free. And the score now 20-10 with a kick to come just to the right of the posts. And an opportunity with that to make it 22. Try to start applying some scoreboard pressure, but Harding, like he said, there's a few rugby union converts here from Waverley College. And Certainly showing his wares. Some very good carries, good leg speed. He's got the ability to get between defenders. And Gardner again with his hands on the ball. And Baker wasn't happy with the last kick, but an opportunity to make amends here. Just to the right of the uprights. With 10 minutes to go. And off the right boot. It's much better this time. That takes it to 22-10. The Hills Bulls lead the Parramatta City Titans. And it's been a big thing, like we said. Sets after points. But a couple of errors. We've had a couple that have turned into penalties on the back of it. Time starting to become of the essence here for the Parramatta City Titans. Maybe they go short. And if they don't, no doubt they'll be ramping up on the defensive side of things. They've been physical all night. With 9.5 minutes to go. Time starting to become the enemy. There's Raymond McHale. Puts it deep. And Noah Gretsch back on the field. It's chopped down. Hayden Crowley, as he's done all night, finds his way into the action. And following up there is Howlett. He skirts the outside again of the ruck and almost burrows his nose through the middle. And the play the ball and the ruck is a bit messy, but Brettle eventually gets to tip, and Gardner back inside to Baker as they cross halfway. And Brettle again does well considering the ruck, and Gardner looking to show inside, cuts back across, goes across again, plays short to McDowell, and Riley McDowell off the right foot. It's tangled up with Elias. And down the short side goes Brettle off the right foot to find grass. And it bounces on for Antonius Habib. And he's done well, Antonius Habib, to shield that one. It was Antonio Kuzapoli trying to get him on the back foot again and looking for some space. Gets his way through and up to the 40. Good set start, and luckily they shut him down. And a big follow-up there. Joseph Flaviano. And up to halfway in 2 plays as Mogridge to Bath with a tip on to Jada Siatea. And he's wrestling his way forward. 7.5 to go. Turned under there by Romanos and Jez Liao. And almost a one-on-one, but he keeps it. Good carries by him tonight. And deep to Mogridge goes to McHale, who chips into open space there, and Howlett gets the bounce and tries to skip away. An urgency all night around him as Elias slams him to the turf. And they tell him to go back to the mark. And Crowley again. Like I said before, double digits easily and then some with the carries. And they draw a penalty. Bailey Cornwall catches the marker out. And Bailey does well there. He's played for the Philippines Tamaros, and he's also played high levels of OzTag at state and national. And good ruck ID there, spotting the man offside to get a penalty. And up to halfway with a fresh set of 6. And 6.5 to go. And we've got a stoppage here. The touchies coming onto the field. I'm not sure here. The touchy and the referee looks to be heading off the field for a moment. So maybe something that has to be dealt with off the field, which is not what we want to see. and particularly at this level, it's under 16s here for the football and the enjoyment of watching these players play the game that they love and a game that we all love. But we're just waiting now to see what's happening. And the clock still running. 5.5 to go, 22-10, the Hills Bulls. And we talked about it before, a rich history of guys that have played in the NRL. And they've also got the Bulls Academy, which they use internally with their coaching setup to try and further develop their players, and they want to educate them to be the best they can be in rugby league, but also in life, and try to help them generate lifelong relationships. And the Para City Titans, like we said, those links to Parramatta Marist. You think back to the schoolboy cups back in the day, the Kalis brothers, the Williams brothers, Paul Gallen, even the former CEO of the Eels, Dennis Fitzgerald, all guys that went to the school there at Marist. A bit like St. Dom's in Penrith and Brothers, changed the name in the new iteration after time, but both powerful rugby league schools. But the Parramatta City Titans, under this badge, forging their way. And it looks like we're close to getting back underway. And this is what we're here for, the footy, as Colnane digs into the line and gets into a bit of a wrestle and shows the ball but puts it away. And now with a quick play, the ball tipped on to Baker, who goes to Gretsch. Noah Gretsch almost gets the arm free there. And Baker with a juggle, and he's unfortunately left it behind. He's been fantastic tonight, but an unfortunate error there. Another Gilroy product, like we've said, and part of that Eels development system, and you can see why. Some good link play, good runs, good variety in his game through the middle of the field. And a lot of talent on show here tonight. Great performances for this match of the round. And as we said, time of the essence on the attack now, the Para City Titans. What can they do? And across the field. And back in is Jez Liao with a good carry. And Mogridge long to Bath. And a tip on there to Hashem. Jadam Hashem trying to get the legs working, but they get extra bodies in. And he almost got the ball free, but he puts it away. And short side to McHale. Goes to Stephen Nassif. And they get a penalty. And time is important here. They're trying to get it underway. Drive it down. Inside the 30. What can they come up with? If they can grab one quick here and convert, they may get a chance with 2 more sets to try and lock it up. There's Elias goes to Nassif, who goes to Hashem, who gets the offload back to Stephen Nassif. And he holds the ball after almost offloading himself. And Mogridge long to Bath. And again, loving the contact. And there's 2 in there, I'd think, but the ref thinks otherwise. And Colnane comes up with a very important steal. And following up now, trying to work their way out of trouble and close this one out. That's Howlett and Crowley. Those 2 names have been following one another all night. The workload. And there's Howlett again on the back of it. And another 10 plus. As they work their way almost to halfway. And midfield now to Ekiaka. Makakawafaki. And a late entrance to the field for him and a strong carry. And long now to Gardner, who puts it in the air. And coming forward, Antonius Habib does very well. And picks up some yards afterwards. And another penalty. And they're trying to get on with things here, the Para City Titans. And Raymond McHale drives it past, or just under halfway. And let's see what the Lebanon under-16s player can do here with his team. Can he direct some points and give us a close finish? There's Jez Liao again on the front foot with a good carry, and there's plenty of bodies there to meet him. And to Bath, who shows it and cuts back inside and digs in the line again. And another one-on-one tried there by his opposite number. Going to play the ball with the man down. And Mikhail calls for it, and out the back to Antonio Sabib, to Elias. And the ball goes down and cleaned up. And it looks like Hills will be able to play this one out. Alec Burley doing good work there, jumping on the loose footy. As Crowley, oh, no. We don't want to see that. We do not want to see that. Aidan Crowley put in a very awkward position there. And Elias going to talk to the referee now. And with what's been going on, there's the unfortunate position of the bin, and there it is. And not how we wanted to close things out. Both teams have been fantastic tonight. The players have certainly given their all. And not long now, 22-10, the Hills Bulls over the Parramatta City Titans. I'll have a chance to close it out. And I tell you what, I was worried about my car for a minute there. It's a big boot. I just got a dent removed, and the halfback is trying to put another one in it. And waiting for a ball, but there's the siren. And we'll have one more play for the Hills Bulls to close this one out here at home. Match of the round, round 4. And they tap it and put it into touch. And a game with great physicality and energy by both these two teams we've been treated here tonight. The Hills Bulls prevail 22-10 over the Parramatta City Titans. And what was a very good game of football. And just to update you on the round 4 in the Central West Conference, the Guildford Owls defeated the Rouse Hill Rhinos 26-22. Cabramatta 2 Blues 20-16 over the Chester Hill Hornets. Greenacre Tigers, that one finished up 42-12 over the Mounties. And here, 22-10. Hills winning, and one more game to come, which would have kicked off now, is Wentworthville against St. Christopher's in round 4 here, and what is shaking out to be a belter of a competition in the Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League District and the Canterbury Bankstown Junior Rugby League District coming up against each other at this age group. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled every week, 5 p.m. for the match of the round, played across the two districts. There's interviews post-match as well with the coaches and players. You'll see that on the highlights packages during the week. And the match of the round, there's sponsorship opportunities there. Promote your business in future matches of the round, and keep your eyes out for the live stream, 5 p.m. every Saturday. The YouTube page and Facebook page through Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League. And also keep your eyes out for the Try of the Week, Little League Legends, the highlights packages, and Eels coaching reels. And that'll about do us here from Crestwood. The Hills Bulls 22-10 over the Parramatta City Titans. I've been Lewis Shepherd. Thank you for joining us here. Round 4 in the Central West Conference. Have a great weekend.